I want to be like all the other popular big YouTube channels who fix wrecked cars, especially the fancy ones that are all wrecked on the side, flipped over, crushed beyond repair, and fix them. But I'm missing one very important tool to do that. Really two, but one very important one. First thing I'm missing is a massive garage that could hold all my tools and cars and everything else I need. But the second and very important thing about rebuilding wrecked cars is a frame machine. Now, almost all frame machines take up a lot of space. They take up so much space, in fact, it would fill up my whole entire garage very easily. No room for anything else. Until now. Let me show you what I got delivered straight to my door. Let's check it out. In this box right here is everything I need to rebuild wrecked cars, flip them for a profit. So many different opportunities to grow my channel, have new projects, and that is what I needed right here. This right here is a cheap Chinese frame machine from Vivor. It's very compact, very movable, very mobile. If you want to do this on the road, it could be an option. So let's go ahead and open this thing up, put it together, and see what it is, see how it works. I don't think it's very difficult to put together, but we're going to find out here. Stay tuned. Well, that was about 10 times easier than I expected. Most of it was pretty much assembled. I just had to piece it together. Very easy, took like maybe 45 minutes. Not long at all. First impressions only, I am pretty impressed. It all seems very well built. We'll be able to fully test that out once we get a wrecked car in, see what it's capable of doing. But overall, just quick appearance and just messing around with the other stuff it comes with, it seems all pretty good. I like it. All this stuff for less than $2 grand, I think this is a very good deal. Just the materials alone costs almost that, so I'm pretty impressed. Came with all this stuff. This right here got shipped separately with everything else. It came in pretty quick. This is an airbag jack. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a jack for lifting up your car, but it's an airbag form. So you use your air compressor, lifts it up very easily with just a little switch. Goes down very easily. Haven't got to use one of these very often, but it's a lot easier to move around than a normal jack, so pretty excited. And this right here is your movable cart filled with all your different kind of pulling accessories. All these different kind of clamps for different areas of your car. Whatever kind of damage you have on it, you need different kind of tools for each of those. I don't know the names of all of them yet, but I'm excited to learn different ones. Chain is your main one. You're gonna be using that for pretty much everything. And then all these different clamps just bolt on to your panels, or you weld on pieces of metal. We have hooks, more chains, different kind of clamps. We have pretty much everything we will need. I don't see anything missing here that we will need in the future. For the level of wrecked cars we're gonna be doing, I don't think we're gonna need much more than this. It's not very tiny when it's all set up, but it's very easy to disassemble. You just slide out this thing and take this piece off, and it can pretty much fit against a wall. Starting right here, this is the boom. This is gonna be what's pulling out all your bent-in metal from your wrecked car. Using this hydraulic pump right here, it's gonna push it straight out or pull it straight out. This right here is your extra support. If you're pulling from like a side of a car, you're gonna be putting this side on one side of the car and this side on the other side of the car, because once you start pulling, the whole thing is gonna wanna lift up. So this will keep the car grounded whenever you start pulling on things. So I'll be able to show that better once we actually get a car on here. You'll get a better idea. And this right here is the main thing you attach your car to. These usually go straight up into the pinch welds. They are fully adjustable, turnable, so you can put them on. So you can pull things from the back of your car, the front of your car, the side of your car. You can pretty much pull from anywhere. They also move up and down, so we'll be able to pull out wrecked trucks, most likely. Probably not very lifted ones, but we'll be able to do pretty much anything that comes through here. The boom has full adjustability. I didn't even know it went down that far. That's pretty far. So you can be pulling from the front corner, the back corner of a car. Pretty much anywhere your car is wrecked, you'll have access to pull it. So overall, I think this is gonna work very well for us. I wanted something affordable and compact because, like I said, I don't have much room in here, and I would like to be able to put this against the wall, but be able to pull it out whenever we need to. So I think this is a very good option for what I'm gonna be doing, and I think this is good for a normal consumer to also have if they want to start getting into rebuilding wrecked things. I think this is a very good option. But like I said, we'll be able to test this thing out fully once we get a car. So I will catch you back in here once we actually get a wrecked car. I'm not going to get anything super bad for my first attempt, maybe just a little fender bender, just a little bit of damage. So I'm going to keep an eye out, and then we'll be back here using it once I get that. So stay tuned. This right here is a 2005 Toyota Tacoma, and as you can see, it's wrecked. Exactly what we need. Exactly what we need and exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for something wrecked to the point where it needs a frame machine, but not to the point where it's gonna be very difficult for me to learn on. I know all the basics about frame pulling. I went to school for collision repair, but I didn't get to do it very often. And by very often, I think I did it maybe once. So this is the perfect opportunity for me to learn on. I'm gonna quickly go over the damage on this because I wanna go ahead and start getting the work. It was hit right up here in the front, right above the frame rails. So the frame rails should be okay. They do not look damaged at all. There is a little bracket right here that got broke, but that should be able to be fixed. Obvious damage, the hood definitely needs replaced, and this passenger fender needs replaced, along with the headlights, grille, radiator support, bumper, pretty much everything up in the front. But this fender is actually okay. I think this thing is pretty good. Moving on to the inside, this was a low speed hit, but it still managed to blow the airbag. I'm gonna walk you through how to replace an airbag. When a vehicle gets in a wreck and an airbag goes off, there's a few extra things you're gonna need to replace. One is the airbag, obviously. Two is the control module. The control module is usually up here underneath the dash. And the last thing you need to replace are the seat belts. Now the seat belts usually get locked up, so you have to remove those and take them out, either replace them or have them repaired. And that is what I do with the seat belts and the control module. I send them off to get repaired. That is a lot cheaper option than replacing all of them, and usually you get them back within a week. Now I already took mine out and had them shipped off, so they're gonna be delivered here in a couple days. Now the rest of the parts we need to repair this are already here. We got the new front bumper, new fender, new radiator support, condenser, radiator. I think I have everything we need to start working on this and getting it back together. So with that quick little rundown, let's go ahead and get to work on this. I'm going to start pulling from right here, try to get most of that damage out of the way. Hopefully get most of that damage pulled out. That way we can go ahead and remove the hood and the fender and basically the whole front end to get to repairing it and replacing it. So finally, let's start working on it. Well, this thing made that a million times easier. It pulled it all right out. There's a couple areas I was pulling from, mainly this section because this is where it got most of the damage. This inner fender right here was smushed in probably an extra 4 inches or so. Got all that straightened out, and then this bracket, we also got that straightened out too and lined up perfectly. But this thing easily straightened it back out, and this is just a support bracket for the radiator support. So not anything structural, so we're just gonna re-weld it, and it should be good to go. The bolt still fits in there, the grommets all still fit in there, so we're good to go there. This is what's left of the radiator support. You see it's all bent up. Most of that is from me because I was trying to pull it off. That radiator support is attached by spot welds. There's about 25 on each side, so 50 total that you have to cut out. Spot welds are a little tricky. There is a couple different tools that you can use to remove them, but what I prefer to use is this air belt sander. This makes it go by so much faster. You gotta go through the belts pretty quick, but it takes them out in no time. And to pry it all off, you just use my hands and also a little bit of the air hammer that helps it separate from the metal. And then once it's off there, you can throw it away because you're not gonna be using it. There might be a few screws and brackets I'm gonna be using from that, but for the rest of it, we're just replacing the whole thing. And let me show you. Brand new radiator support right here. Looks nice, comes with almost everything I need. I am missing the center bar right here, but I already have that on ordered. Should be here in a few days. But that's not super necessary. We can go ahead and start lining this up and mounting it on. I wanna go ahead and install it, drill the new holes for all the spot welds, line it all up right, and then throw the fenders and hood and bumper back on, make sure it's all lining up properly. After all that's done and lined up, we can go ahead and weld it on fully, and then it will be ready for paint, pretty much. As long as it goes how I think it does. I think it's gonna go pretty easy. Hopefully. It's been pretty easy so far, so let's keep it up. Let's do it. Doesn't it look so good? Usually with wrecked cars, it's a little tricky to get it all lined up, but this was pretty easy, so we know we did it right. We did it the right way. So new fender, new bumper, new headlights, new grille. You may notice that this whole front end looks a little different, and that's because I upgraded to the 2012 to 2015 model. Now these second generation Tacomas went from 2005 to 2015, but then in 2012 they changed the front end along with some interior pieces. But as far as the outside is, they changed the front end to look a little bit more modern, more sleeker. And since I had to replace all that anyway, I figured now's a good time and it doesn't cost that much more. Quick list of parts you're gonna need to upgrade to the newer front end, and that is the grille, bumper, headlights, hood, along with all the brackets underneath that attach to the radiator support. You're gonna need all those. But the fenders stay the same, a lot of the mounting hardware stays the same. Now, I couldn't remember if I needed the new hood or not. I have this extra hood laying in my backyard that I thought we could use for it because it's in okay shape. The paint is definitely flaking off. I would have to take it down to bare metal to fix it. But you actually have to replace the hood if you're gonna do this newer front end. You can see it doesn't line up very well. Still kind of basic shape overall, but these body lines do not match up here. So ordered a new hood. I even upgraded to the hood with the hood scoop in it. Along with that, there's a couple extra parts that I'm still waiting on. The old impact bar that mounted right here, that was a little bent up, so I went ahead and ordered a new one of those. Also waiting for a new fan shroud because the old one had some cracks in it, so I went ahead and replaced that. The plan is to sell this thing once I get it fixed up and painted. So I want to make sure it's done right for the next person who owns this. I don't want any surprises or anything wrong with it. So we're gonna get it all fixed the right way. So next episode, we're gonna get this whole thing painted, the new hood, fender, bumper. We're gonna try to match this paint color because I don't wanna paint the whole truck. We also need to move into the interior and get the airbag fixed, along with the seat belts and all that stuff taken care of. Next episode will be the last episode on this thing, getting it all taken care of. A huge thank you to Vivor for sending me out the frame machine. We couldn't be able to fix this thing without that. This was a really good starting vehicle for me learning how to pull out frame damage and stuff. But I think it's time for me to move on to something a little bit more difficult. Let me show you. That doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty good, actually. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is.